I put the canvas on top. Remember, you have your cups set up and leveled. You flip it. A lot of people call this the flip cup. Set my cups out so my canvas looks fairly even. I like to just let it sit there for a minute. And while I'm doing that, I can start on the second painting, which is why I often do 2 paintings at one time. I often do 2 paintings that will match or go together using the same colors. I might pour a different technique or something. Today I'm just doing it with a background and doing it in a larger painting, but we also get to see the effects of adding silicone late, like I just did. And I think we need to let these colors sit because a couple of these have a lot of bubbles. A lot of people use alcohol in the paint to get rid of the bubbles. I, however, have no alcohol, so that won't be happening. Here we go with our layering. I'm going to start with the gray again on the bottom. And then I will go with my marine blue. And then to a lilac. I'm not going to scrape that out because I'm going to leave a little extra paint in case I need it for the corners or anywhere else. Put my other lavender color in. My cup's getting full, so I am going to now put the gold in and save some for accents. And I will finish it off with the blue, my cobalt blue, one of my favorite colors. Love painting with that cobalt blue. Okay, we'll save these cups. Unless they're empty, we'll save them for doing the final touches. So again, we know our cups are stable. Our frame is able to sit on them. We take our full cup of paint and canvas on top, hand on top, and flip it over. Let that one sit. And we are now I'm going to just move this around. I like to do a couple of swirls back to the middle and slowly release. Sometimes I like to give it a little twist. And that is beautiful color. Let me see if I can show you. Oops. You can see the bubbles coming up. We're just going to allow them to come up on their own. If the paint starts pouring like it is right now, I'm just going to adjust the leveling and move it. Let's see if I can do this. Oops. You can see my cups are out of place here. You can see the gold metallic mixing with the blue, making it kind of a green with that yellow in the gold and the blue. We have kind of a moss or sage green coming out. Again, we're just going to allow the bubbles to come up. And we do want the paint to drip into the pan. we just want to make sure that there's still paint on the canvas to maneuver. And at this point, I put my gloves on. This is the messy part. Oops. The messy and the fun part. Oops. This one we're just going to allow to sit. I might want to give it a couple swirls so it's not sitting in the same exact place on the canvas. But I don't want to lift the cup just quite yet. This will allow the paint, the colors to mix and the bubbles to come up. Okay, here we go with our 8x8 paint pour. Lots of paint on this canvas. Oh, the gold is really coming through. I really like those metallic effects. Get a reflective kind of look. Shimmering, reflective, frosty, whatever you want to call it. Look at all the cells in that. Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. Lots of people do use Floetrol, and I have used Floetrol as well. It's just that I have found that I don't need to use Floetrol. I can, but I don't need to. That really looks pretty. I like it. Okay, gloves back off. And let's go ahead and do the last pour. And then we can take a look at what we've got. And I will show you real quickly how to use the heat gun on the paintings as well. So this, I'm going to show you here. You can see the cells forming right here. This is just from the little bit of paint that I put on the canvas just from going like this. I hope you can see the reflective qualities in this painting. I really like it. Here we go. I often make these paintings and I do not cover all the corners. I like to do, I don't know, things a little bit differently, I guess, but I also love the way that it shows it's an original piece of artwork and that it is on a canvas by exposing some of the canvas. This one we're going to let sit. See all those bubbles? If I blow on it, I can pop a lot of them. Looks like not all of them. So by blowing just air, you can release bubbles, which will help create cells. But the other way to do that is with the heat gun. I have a Wagner heat gun. It blows out some air. I'm going to put it on low. And I'm not going to get too close to the picture. I don't want to accidentally dry the paint, which I have done before. We just wanted to give it some more cells and definition, bring the air out. And now I will just let it sit. If I didn't like this picture or wanted to change it, you could easily do that. Oh, look, you can see the orange underneath there. How funny. There's the orange and the pink have been exposed. Good to know. I can just take a tool and lift the painting and change it. So if you're not happy with the result, you still have the ability to manipulate your picture. I'm liking that better. I like the big pink cells here. I don't like the orange showing up there. So, oops, I'm going to make sure my cup is under the corner, and I'm going to tip it this way. Oops, I hope you can see. I really want to get that point, so I'm just going to pick it up and let it run. Just let it run. Okay, and see all that paint on the bottom? That's going to make a beautiful paint skin that we can do a project with later. And it does pay to wear the gloves because this can be very messy. So I'm liking that. This one, I'm going to need my gloves to maneuver it around, and we're just about finished. I like to do this in just a circle shape. Keep it on the canvas as much as I can, moving as slowly as I can. And now I'm heading towards the corners, and I'm just going to turn it. Let it sit just for a minute because I really like the cells that I'm seeing, so I'm just going to allow them to come up but get a little more definition. The weight of the different colors of the paints is what allows some to sink, some to rise, and to make these shapes, cells and bubbles. Some of the paintings that I do can be used as backgrounds. Some can be used as paintings. You never really know what your painting is going to turn out like, which is one of the reasons I like painting this way. I don't have to think about it. It's relaxing. Started doing it just because it was so therapeutic for me, and I've been doing it now for about 9 months and just doing more experiments and having fun with it. So I'm hoping that you will have fun with yours as well. I'm going to add some of the colors that I have left over, but first taking my gloves off. And of course I love the gold, so I'm going to add the gold to the corner here where there was a little white, and I'm just going to draw it down this side. I don't think I want to do much more, but I will add the rest of the cobalt blue on the couple of spots that I see that are still white, just on the edge. Just let it run into the pan. Let that sit there for a while. And then I'll give it some heat, just a tiny bit. I do see cells forming. Here we go. Let's see if you can see the cells. And you can see this one. You see some of the pink and orange coming up from the background. And I'll do the air on this one. And I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me again. Thank you for watching my first YouTube paint pour.